Good morning. So today we're going to talk about public speaking, delivery and public speaking. And we're going to focus on what is delivery. We're going to look at both verbal delivery and nonverbal delivery. And it'll be pretty much it's just going to be a short presentation, a short lecture here about that. I'll be using the PowerPoint to kind of go through it. Biggest thing about delivery that you need to know as a budding public speaker is you need to realize that it takes a while to work on your delivery. That's not something you're going to get like off the bat generally, unless you have like this major natural talent for that. It's going to be something that's going to take you a little while to work on and have control of. Okay, as you get to know yourself, and delivery is really about practice. You need to get to know yourself. Actually, even as you are videotaping yourself, you can watch yourself videotaping so you get to see kind of how you look on video. Oftentimes when we're doing public speaking, when we're doing it in the classroom, we don't see how we look. But the benefit of having videoing yourself or recording yourself is that you get to see how you look and you get to see your mannerisms and the things that you do, which can help you become better. So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to look at that, and let's move right to the PowerPoint. Which is right there. Here we go. Okay. So looking at verbal and nonverbal communicating in public speaking. Again, to reiterate what I just said, that this is actually a good opportunity for you as you're learning public speaking to go back and look at yourself on video. And as you get to know what public speaking is and how it's done well, then you will be able to make adjustments to yourself as you move through it. So when we talk about delivery, it is performative, okay? Those of you that have done theater, you know what I'm talking about. Any kind of theater or musical performance or anything where you're doing any kind of performance art of any sort. There is an art to being able to deliver a speech well. One thing, if you notice, I'm looking at my little green dot, which is making me look at you, right? When you're seeing me, I'm looking directly at the camera, so I'm talking to you right now. I try to do that in my class. When I have a class, I try to make eye contact when I'm talking with each student. Now, it's impossible to know whether I don't like go down the row or anything like that, but I pan, what's called panning. I pan my audience. One of the reasons I do that is to check in to see if students are listening, but two is to make contact. Okay? Part of public speaking, let's go back to public speaking as a communicative act. Public speaking is about making contact, is about making a connection, right? It is a form of communication. So remember, communication is the driver of all relationships. This is about your relationship. It's not by your words. Here's in the delivery. It's about your relationship with your audience. Are you going to be willing, for you, it's going to be looking at the green dot or red dot or yellow dot or whatever, looking at the camera on your phone or on your laptop or on your iPad or whatever you're using to record yourself. You're going to need to look straight at the camera. Generally speaking, in public speaking, we want to use our whole body. You can see my hands moving around because I naturally move my hands. You'll see facial expression, right? The way I use my face, the way my eyes move. Now, that's also just part of my personality. I happen to be a person that you can see what's going on my face. But that is like a benefit for me because it makes it interesting to watch. If I was totally like this the whole time, you guys would just be turning it off and going away. I don't even think I'm able to do that. Okay. So it's both performative and communicative. So you are sharing a message. So public speaking is about you, but it's not about you. Okay. It is like two sides of the same. It's two sides of the same coin. So how do I put this? Your burden is to give us, is to, through the best method, through the best use of your being, right? This is your instrument, your face, your body. In this case, the way we're doing speeches is most of us aren't looking at the whole body. We're just looking right now as like you're seeing this part of me and up, right? So, but it's performative. You want to use your instrument to get your point across. Okay, so your instrument isn't just my body, it's my voice. Am I sounding intense enough? Am I lowering my voice? Right? That my voice and the tone and the volume and how I use my language is also performative. Now, on the other side, it's communicative. So you're communicating a message. You have to have a message in order to be doing public speaking. Okay, and I said that earlier on. What is public speaking? That's part of the reason. All public speakers have a reason for speaking. Right? They're delivering a message. And your job is to bring awareness about something. And you could be advocating for something, or you could be just sharing information. But you have a message to bring. You're going to give something to your audience that wasn't there before. That's all public speaking involves that. Okay? You may not be changing their mind, but you are offering them something that hasn't been offered before. Okay, we're going to look at verbal delivery now. And I'm going to go over it piece by piece. And it's looking like this is going to go into 2 different little lectures. Okay, Robo Delivery. It is volume, right? So I did that really softly. And I could be yelling, right? So, or in the middle right here, I talk pretty loud as it is. But, you use your volume to emphasize. I've seen students give speeches where the topic is really tough. And as they're giving the speech, the way they talk about it, you could tell. See how my whole voice changed? You could tell just the way they talked about it. The solemnness in their voice. They got quiet. They're not monotone, but you can hear the seriousness. So your voice is an instrument. You've got volume, you've got tone. Monotone means you're talking in the same syllable, at the same level, like tone. Those of you in music, at the same tone. You're like C note, C note, C note, C note, C note. You don't want to be like that. You want to get your voice to go up and down, have different pitches to it. So you don't sound monotone, right? So you go up here and you go down here, and you go up here and you go down here. And if you need to practice singing to get yourself to not be monotone, then that's what you need to do. Here's why. Monotone puts us to sleep. The same level at the same level. That's what will go down a little bit. If I was just talking like this, you would be going to sleep and it would be monotone and I would never change my tone and it would be just like this and it would be so boring. That's monotone. That's what you don't want to do. You want to be natural. Most of us naturally are not monotone. If you are naturally monotone, you want to work on changing that. Rate. If you know you talk fast, I have a tendency to talk fast. I take pauses in between my thoughts. I do it so you can catch up. I do it so I can slow myself down. We're going to get to pausing is actually a part of verbal delivery. But if you know your rate is too fast, then you need to find ways to slow yourself down, whether that is breathing, whether it's practicing to slow yourself down. We'll get into the outline and how you can write notes to yourself to slow yourself down if you talk too fast. But if you talk fast, you need to let people catch up with you. So you're going to have to make space in your speech between your thoughts, sharing of your thoughts in your speech to help us catch up. Now, if you're the opposite and you talk slow with long pauses, you're going to put us to sleep. You're going to have to step it up. You're going to find some part of you that's going to bring your energy to the room. Bring that energy to the room, and it's got to come through your voice. And it doesn't mean that you have to, you do need to talk faster. You don't have to talk fast, but you need to talk faster if you talk too slow, because you will put us to sleep just like monotone. Articulation. Articulation refers to the crispness and clarity of your speech, right? Is it tight? Can we hear each syllable? Take the time. If you don't know how to pronounce a word, and we're going to get to pronunciation next, you need to take the time to learn how to pronounce it. The worst thing you can do as a speaker is to say, I don't know how to pronounce this word. Students do all the time. You know what? That's lazy. Don't be lazy. You can go online and hear the pronunciation of the word. Practice it. If you have a word that's in a different language other than English, which I encourage you to use that. Actually, I think it's wonderful if you know a second language. Sometimes the second language says something better than the way you can say it in English. Say it. If it's not your language and you're still speaking it, practice it so you sound correct in your practice. Okay, so this goes back to that practice piece. It's really important for you to work on this. Your verbal delivery. This is all we got, folks. We don't have the outline in front of us. We are depending upon you to deliver your speech in a way that we can understand it. You've worked on it. You've given us the respect as an audience to do your work to engage us and get us interested in your speech. You've done all that work. So far, I've been completely covering the words that you use, how you put the words together. Now I'm talking about how you're going to give the speech, how you're going to deliver the speech. And finally, pausing is that last one. How you use pauses. Pauses are a strategy. It's a way that you can get your audience to pause, in that sometimes that silence, that pausing, can actually add something to your speech, can get their attention. So pausing is both for you, but it's a strategy you can use in your speech. Okay, we're going to stop here. In the next lecture, we're going to go on to nonverbal delivery, and I'll see you in a moment.